What's up, guys? Today we're gonna take a look at Brakus, a champion that you probably weren't expecting me to make a video about, but he's another my personal all-time favorites that carried me through this game for many years. So I kind of want to make a guide about him, and he actually has a very interesting niche tactic that is very good even in Gold 4 Tag Team Arena, and you could use him even in Platinum defense, but probably not unless you have very good champions. But he's kind of like Wogot, he's very underrated and he's way better than people think he is, and he's practically never used in Arena or anything else nowadays, so let's take a quick look at his kit. And yeah, I know that my gear might look very intimidating, but this is basically my spare pieces, and nowadays you don't really use Swift Parry a lot, so that's why he ends up having kind of decent gear. But for Platinum players, this is probably not even that good, but yeah. And he doesn't need insane gear for this strategy, by the way. You will see later, but we will basically use him to counter speed teams in Tag Team Arena. That's what he's very good at doing. But so, if we take a look at his skills, his A1 is very basic. Actually, maybe it's better to look it from... No, okay, never mind. So his A1 is just basic A1. It has 3.75 multiplier, which is very average, and there's really nothing much to this skill, but it does heal, and that's like kind of okay in PvE situations, and he does have other healing and survivability with his other skills, so they synergize well together. And back in the day, actually for a time he used to be very popular in like top clan boss teams. I think this is maybe like 3 years ago. This is very long time ago, but this used to be very good skill for that, I guess, and because he has a lot of multi-hitters, but yeah. So then his A2 is kind of similar thing, like it heals himself, and it has a 6-hitter that has 0.97 multiplier per hit, so like almost 6 in total, which is decent, but he is like 1500 attack, so he's not like insane attack, but it's still very decently hitting skill. It's only single target though, but it does have the weaken and fierce. I mean, sorry, it has the like extra heals from fierce, but I think he was used in clan boss because of his multi-hitters and because of this weaken. I'm not sure if back in those days weaken increased burn damage. It's so long time ago, I don't remember, but there was, maybe it was because there was a lot of less champions back then, but I remember he was very like top tier at one point. And then his A3 is also kind of unique and interesting skill, but it's basically a 3-hitter that puts attack buff on everybody and has a chance to put fierce. And this is kind of decent skill for defense because you could pair him in a team that doesn't like first of all he can fear enemies and give some like iron to the fight that way. But also he self buffs attack, so you don't necessarily need attack buff with him. And if you combo him in a team with like maybe him and another nuker, you could use something else than dodges. You don't necessarily need attack buff from support. But both of these skills, like the A2 and A3, are like good at killing Rotos because they do multi-hits. Oh, and by the way, this skill is like, I think it's 6.9 multiplier, so it's even better than the other skill, but the other one I think books better than this, so they hit pretty much the same, but it's very good damage but nothing like insane, and both are single target hitters. But the main thing about his kit is of course his passive, and that's where it gets interesting. So it has two effects on it. The first one increases his damage by 40% if he's below 40% HP, and this has very good synergy with Swift Parry set, because of course if it procs you will always be below 40%, and at that point he will do very high damage. But the most important part about his passive is the second effect, that he gets revived immediately when he dies, and he gets a turn instantly. And this has some very interesting implications in Arena, as we will see in a second. Like, basically, it's a very good pairing with Lydia to counter speed teams. But let's quickly look at the Masteries first, and maybe Blessings too. But yeah, this is like this is very standard nuke mastery tree. Basically, what you would use on most nukers. Like, maybe you could use Shield Breaker instead, but other than that, this is very basic. And you could probably just copy it. Like, you could, I guess, use Cycle of Revenge for more turn meter because he doesn't need to be speed tuned, but it's not big deal either way. Though he does benefit a lot from the counter attacks because, like, I'm building him in Swift Parry and he's usually like going second and so on. So, and he will heal from A1, so it can be very good. And Blessings, I mean, it's very typical nuker Blessings. Like, I guess you would just go with Lightning Cage, depending on team. Like, if you have, like, it's the same one that I had in the other video. If you have 6-star, you could use Crushing Rend, or then you could use Soul Reap or Lightning Cage, depending on your team and how high level Blessing you have. But the most important part, of course, is the damage, like the attack and crit damage that you get from them. But I don't have any soul for him, and I'm not gonna get one unless I luck out. Like, I'm not gonna use soul essence to buy it. But yeah, and his sets, like, you could use Savage or whatever you have, but I'm using Swift Parry just because I don't have to put my, like, most important good gear on him. And his passive has that very good synergy with Swift Parry. And Swift Parry also kind of works with the strategy that we're doing. And let's actually take a look at this secret strategy. I mean, it's not a secret, just so you know, but this used to be kind of like meta defense team back in the day. Like, this kind of offense team used to be the most popular offense team that you would see for a very long time in this game, for like years. And a good way to counter this back in the day would be something like Duchess, Lydia, Rotos, Brakus. And what that team would do is that when the Tranda nukes your team and kills them, then the Brakus will kill the Tranda because he will get revived with his passive, and he will target Tranda because it's weak affinity and it's lowest HP, and then it will basically lock out the enemy reviver, and you would get all of your team back with Lydia. But let me go through these fights quickly because these fights will probably take me some time, and then we can look at the last fight. Okay, the first fight took me forever as I suspected, and the second one I guess I lost, but it happens. I just wanted to show this team. Like, you see these type of teams a bit less nowadays because there has been so many new champions, but not even that long ago, like before Blessings, like pretty much like half of the teams or more had one of these in tag team defense, and you will still see ton of these, and especially if you're like lower than gold 4, you will see them. But basically the trick here is that when the enemy Tranda nukes my team, first of all we have Lydia in like slow build without any accuracy, so she won't proc polymorph and won't take turns, and she's in stone skin, so she will probably survive. And when the Tranda nukes, he will kill everybody in the team except Lydia, hopefully. But even if he does kill Lydia, it can still work. But when he does that, the Brakus will revive, and he will kill the Tranda, and Lydia will lock out the Arbiter, and it's basically like free cheese after that. And the last two in this team could basically be anything that you have. So I have like changed those like many times over the years, but this is very solid team, as you can see. Okay, now it kind of, he procced Swift Parry, which I have, so it didn't go exactly like I mentioned, but it's basically the same deal. He survived, and now because we killed the Tranda, there's basically nothing their team can do. And these kind of teams can be very hard to defeat because, like, you know, speed teams just can be very like overpowering in general. And this is one of the most like low, like you don't need insane gear for this, you don't need insane champion for this. Like in all likelihood, you're probably not using Brakus if you have him. You probably don't even have him 6-star unless like you got him very early in the game or very long time ago. But yeah, this is very good strategy, and you should definitely use it. There isn't really that much more to it. It's very simple strategy, nothing like big brain over here, but it's very solid. And that's it for this video. I'm not sure if this video is as interesting as the Gala video or the walkout video, but I hope that some of you found this trick interesting, and maybe this can help you in tag team arena, or maybe even normal arena. Like you could use it in your normal arena defense, and back in the day it used to be meta, but not anymore. But that's it for this video, and thanks a lot for watching.